Today in our 2019 Toyota Highlander, you're going to be taking a look at, I'm going to show you how to install the Curt Class 3 Trailer Hitch Receiver. This is what our hitch looks like when it's installed. You can see the cross tube is visible, but it sits nice and tight up against the bottom of the fascia and has a round tube design, so it's going to fit nicely with the contour of the vehicle. It's going to be a Class 3 hitch, 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube opening. We're going to have a nice reinforced collar, give us a little extra stability there. Hitch pinhole is going to be 5/8 inch in diameter. It's going to take a standard 5/8 hitch pin. Now the hitch pin clip does not come with this hitch, however it can be found here at etrailer.com. We're going to have plate style safety chain loops. The plate's going to be welded to the bottom of the cross tube and the receiver tube. You can see we're going to have large openings that's going to accommodate a variety of different size hooks. It's going to have a nice black powder coat finish. It's going to resist any rust or corrosion. As far as our weight capacities go, we're going to have a 900-pound max tongue weight, which is a downward pressure on the inside of the receiver tube. The 6,000-pound gross trailer weight, which is a trailer plus the load included. You can use weight distribution with this hitch. Tongue weight's going to stay the same at 900 pounds. Trailer weight's going to go up to 8,000 pounds. I do recommend checking the owner's manual of your Highlander. Make sure the vehicle can withstand that amount of weight. You're going to pick the lowest number between the vehicle and the hitch. Now let's give you a few measurements to help you when deciding on any hitch mount accessories you may need. From the center of the hitch pinhole back to the outermost part of the bumper is going to be about a 1/2 inch. From the ground to the top innermost part of the receiver tube, it's going to be about 16.5 inches. Now let's show you how to get this installed. Now before you start your installation, it's a good idea to go ahead and lower your spare tire. Then we're going to remove our two appearance panels on the bottom driver's side and passenger side. We're going to have a couple of push-pin fasteners that look like this. Then we're going to have a couple of bolts like this. We'll use a 10mm socket to remove those. You can take a flathead screwdriver or trim panel tool if you have one like this. Pop out the center and make sure you bring the base with it. Then we'll have two fasteners on the inside. We'll use a 12mm socket to remove those. It's easier if you just put some downward pressure on it too, because these are plastic. Pop our panel out like that. On our passenger side, we're going to remove this tab here. We're going to use an 11/16 socket to remove the large bolt and a 10mm socket to remove this one. Then on both frame rails, we're going to remove the plastic plugs and the two rubber plugs. You can use a flathead screwdriver or trim panel tool like I'm using here. We're going to be using the 3 weld nuts on both frame rails. Because they were covered, you shouldn't have anything in the threads, but what I suggest doing is taking your hardware and hand threading it into the hole just to make sure there's nothing stuck in there. If it is, I suggest maybe spraying some lubricant or something up in there, taking a tube brush and cleaning the threads really well. Our exhaust deflector, we need to cut it back. We're going to measure 2 inches from the hinge right here back this way. You can see how I have it marked there. I'm just going to take a Dremel tool with a cutting blade on it. It should cut it pretty easy. Then we'll take a utility knife. I'm going to clean up the edges here. This is to knock off the burrs. Now with an extra set of hands, we'll get our hitch in place. We're going to go over our exhaust on our passenger side. We're going to use a hex bolt, conical tooth washer to make sure the teeth are facing towards the hitch. We're going to get one in on each side to hold our hitch in place. We're going to use the same combination on the hardware for all 6 holes, 3 holes on each frame rail. Then we're going to tighten and torque all of our hardware to the specifications and the instructions. Next, we need to trim our underbody panel for our driver's side. What you want to do is turn it upside down like this, or this is actually the way it's going to be installed. We're going to follow these rib lines right here. We're going to go on the inside of this rib line, We're going to come on the inside of this one, over, and then up. Now your directions are going to show you going straight up from here. In this hole, they're showing it way over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up and we're going to go beside that hole because we don't want to lose that attachment point. That's for the front, or for the most rear part of this panel. For the back part of the panel, or front part of the panel, we're going to go down 3 inches and then over 4 inches right in this corner. And again, we'll clean off the burrs. Just kind of clean it up a little bit. Now we'll test fit our underbody panel and make any necessary adjustments. Looks like everything's fitting good. We'll go ahead and reinstall our fasteners. Once you've reinstalled your underbody panel, you can reinstall your spare tire and you're ready to go. That'll do it for a look at an installation on the Curt Class 3 Trailer Hitch Receiver on our 2019 Toyota Highlander.